The sun peeks through your window. Birds chirp. Your alarm rings. Your day begins, just like everyone else's. We wake up, eat, move, work, play, and sleep. It's a common rhythm for all people. But how do we talk about our day in English? How do we tell others about our mornings, busy afternoons, or quiet evenings so they really get it? This is where simple, everyday English helps. Learning a new language can feel hard, like climbing a big hill. So many words and rules. You can learn to say, "I am eating breakfast." That's good. But what if you ate something fast and tasty before leaving? Or what if you stayed in bed because it was so warm and nice? This is where English gets fun and useful. Books teach the basics. But to sound like someone who grew up speaking English, to really talk to people and understand them, you need more. You need the words and phrases people use without thinking. These are the small keys that open up easy talking. They make conversations flow like a calm river. That's why we look at everyday English phrases. Think of them like colorful threads in a blanket. They are the common words and sayings English speakers use all the time. They cover everything you do from waking up to going to sleep. For example, instead of saying you woke up late, you could say you slept in or overslept. If you make a quick meal, you might whip up breakfast. If you are in a rush, you might scarf down your food. When you get in your car, you buckle your seatbelt. At work, you might say you are stepping outside for a break, or calling it a day when you finish. In a restaurant, you might ask for refills or a to-go box. When you relax, you might zone out or let the kids. 1. Starting the day. Morning words and routines. Waking up feels like a soft sound or a loud bell, doesn't it? When I first learned English, saying I woke up was easy, but my days felt different. Some mornings, I wanted more sleep. I'd think just a little longer, and then realize I had slept too much. Other mornings, I felt great and ready for anything. Learning the right English words for these feelings made a big difference. It helped me feel more connected to English and more sure of myself when talking about my day. Our mornings have many small actions and feelings, and English has good ways to say them. Let's start with the first moment you know you are awake. We often say wake up. This means you stop sleeping. For example, I wake up at 7 a.m. every day. But what if you want to sleep a little longer, maybe on a weekend? You can sleep in. This means you stay in bed longer than usual on purpose. Think of this. On Saturday, I slept in until 9 a.m. because I was tired. It feels nice, right? You choose to rest more. But sometimes things don't go as planned. Maybe your alarm didn't ring or you didn't hear it. That's when you oversleep. This is not a choice, it's a mistake. If you oversleep, you are usually late for something important. For example, "Oh no, I overslept and missed my meeting." See the difference? Sleep in is a happy choice for more rest. Oversleep means you slept too long and have a problem. Knowing these small differences helps you talk about your morning better and more naturally. After you wake up, most people get up. This means you get out of bed. You might wake up but stay in bed for a few minutes, thinking or stretching. Then you get up. So, you could say, "I woke up at 7 a.m., but I didn't get up until 7:15 a.m. This shows that wake up is about your mind becoming aware, and get up is about your body moving out of bed. Once you are out of bed, your morning actions really start. We do so many things without thinking. Let's look at some common ones. Cleaning your teeth is important. We say brush my teeth. It's a simple action, but saying it right helps you sound natural. First, I brush my teeth to make them clean. Washing your face is also important. You might say, "I wash my face with cold water to feel more awake." Then you get dressed. This means putting on your clothes for the day. After my shower, I get dressed for work. Sometimes, You might just put on simple clothes quickly, like pajamas or comfy clothes. You could say, I just threw on some old clothes to eat breakfast. Breakfast is a big part of the morning for many people. We might make breakfast or prepare breakfast. This means getting the food ready. What food? Common breakfast foods are eggs, toast, cereal, yogurt, and fruit. If you are in a hurry, you might grab a quick breakfast, which means you eat something fast. I grabbed a banana and a coffee on my way out the door. Or maybe you whip up something simple, meaning you make it very quickly. I whipped up some scrambled eggs for myself. What if your breakfast is very fast and easy? You might scarf down your food. This means eating it very fast, almost without chewing. This usually happens when you are in a big hurry. I had to scarf down my toast because I was running late. It's not the politest way to eat, but it's a common way to say you ate when you were in a rush. Now let's think about leaving the house. This is often called the commute, but what you do before you leave is important too. You might need to grab my bag or put on my coat. If you drive, you will buckle my seatbelt for safety. This is a very important phrase for drivers. Before I start the car, I always buckle my seatbelt. If you use buses or trains, you might head to the bus stop or walk to the train station. You might say, I need to leave by 8 p.m. to catch the 8:15 train. To catch the bus or catch the train means to get on it before it leaves. Sometimes, you might need to go outside for a short time, maybe for fresh air or a quick phone call. In English, we might say, I'm just stepping outside for a minute. This is a very common phrase that means you are going out of the building for a short time. It's a casual way to tell someone where you are. How do we feel about our mornings? We might say, I feel refreshed if we slept well. If we are late and doing things fast, we are rushing. I was rushing to get ready this morning. Sometimes, we have a leisurely start, which means we start the day slowly and without hurry. This morning, I had a leisurely start, reading my book with my coffee. Now, let's think about common mistakes English learners make when talking about their mornings. One big mistake is saying things exactly as they are said in their own language. For example, in some languages there might be one word for waking up and getting out of bed. In English, we have wake up and get up, and they mean slightly different things, as we saw. Using them correctly makes your English sound more natural. Another common problem is not knowing the special phrases for common actions. Instead of saying, I took food to put in my mouth quickly, we say scarf down. Instead of saying, I decided to rest longer, we say sleep in. These everyday English phrases are like quick ways to say things. They have a lot of meaning in just a few words. They are the basic parts of natural talking. When you use them, you are not just speaking English, you are speaking like an English speaker. Think about this. If you were describing a sunny day, you could say the sun is shining. That is correct. But if you say, it's a glorious day, or the sun is beaming down, you are using more colorful words. In the same way, using phrases like sleep in or oversleep adds more detail and feeling that makes your description better and easier for others to understand. It shows you know not just the words, but the feeling and situation behind them. These phrases help you sound natural because they are what people who speak English use every day. They are not formal words you only find in books. They are part of everyday talking. When you use them, you fit in more easily. It's like wearing clothes that fit well. You feel more comfortable and sure of yourself. If you always use very simple phrases, your English might sound a bit stiff or formal, even if it's grammatically correct. These everyday phrases are like spices that make your English conversation taste more real. For example, imagine a friend asks, how was your morning? If you say, I woke up and ate food, it's understandable, but a bit boring. If you say, I slept in a bit, then grabbed a quick coffee and toast before heading out. Your friend gets a much clearer picture of your morning. They hear the relaxed start, the rush, and getting ready for the day. They also hear natural English. The good thing about everyday English phrases is that they are often shorter and more direct than longer sentences. They are quick. Buckle my seatbelt is much faster than saying, I need to put on the safety strap that keeps me secure in the car. This speed is a sign of natural talking. So, as we have seen, mornings have many chances to use these helpful phrases. From the soft act of waking up to the busy rush of getting ready, English gives us the perfect words. Knowing and using phrases like wake up, get up, sleep in, oversleep, brush my teeth, get dressed, grab a quick breakfast, head out, and buckle my seatbelt will make your daily stories much more interesting and your talks flow more smoothly. Now that we have successfully gone through the important first steps of our day, from the gentle moment of waking up to going out the door, we are ready to look at the next big part of our day, work and school. Let's see how English helps us talk well when we are busy. 2. Midday moments. Lunchtime language and activities. The sun in the middle of the day often means a nice break from our busy times. It's a time to eat, to rest a little from our work, and sometimes to talk with people. For those learning English, this time can also be a way to practice and get better at English. Let's learn some simple English phrases that make eating lunch easy and fun. Think about your own break for lunch. What do you usually do? You might say, I'm going to take a lunch break. This means you are stopping your work or what you are doing to eat. If you are very busy, you might just want something fast to eat. You can say, I'm just going to grab a bite. This means you will eat something small and quick, not a big meal. If you want to eat with someone, you can say, let's have lunch together. And if you are leaving your work or home to eat somewhere else, I'm stepping out for lunch is a good phrase. It sounds normal and tells people you will come back. When you go to a cafe or a place to eat, asking for food can seem a little hard at first. But with a few key phrases, you will feel more sure of yourself. Imagine you are looking at the list of food. You can ask the person serving you, what's the special today? This is a good way to find out about a food that is liked a lot or costs less for that day. If you cannot eat certain foods or do not like them, you can ask for changes. For example, if you do not like onions, you can say, can I have that without onions? This is very polite and clear. And when it is time to pay, the most common way to ask for the bill is check, please. In some places, you might also hear bill, please. Both are fine. These phrases are part of our everyday English phrases because people use them all the time. They help us talk easily and naturally. When you use them, you show that you know how people talk in real life, not just from books. Now, let's think about talking with people during lunch. Lunch is often a time to talk with friends or people you work with. If you see someone with food that looks very good, you can ask, that looks delicious. What is it? This is a friendly way to start talking and show you are interested in their food. You can then say what you are eating. For example, you might say, I'm having a sandwich today, or I brought food from dinner last night. Talking about food is a very common and easy thing to do. Making plans to eat lunch another time is also a good way to become friends. You could say, we should try that new cafe sometime. Or are you free for lunch next Friday? These phrases are open and invite others to join you. They are simple ways to suggest meeting again. Sometimes life is busy and lunch needs to be fast. For these times, we have phrases like quick lunch. This just means a short meal. If you bring your own food from home, it is called a packed lunch. This is very common, especially for people who work in offices. And what if you order too much food at a place to eat? You do not want to waste it. You can ask for the rest to be put in a container. The common phrase for this is, "Can I get a doggy bag?" More and more people are also saying, "Can I get a to-go box?" Or "Can I take this to go?" This is very useful for saving food and money. Let's think about a common situation. Maria, who is learning English, started a new job. On her first day, the people she works with asked her to lunch. Maria felt a little worried. She knew many simple English words, but she was afraid she would not understand or speak fast enough. Her coworker, Tom, saw she was quiet. He smiled and said, "Maria, that sandwich looks good. What is it?" Maria took a deep breath. She had made a simple sandwich with ham and cheese. She said, "It's ham and cheese. I'm having a sandwich today." Tom nodded. "I brought food from last night. We should try that new Italian place next week, though. Have you heard of it?" Maria looked happier. She had not heard of it, but the invitation made her feel welcome. She said, "No, I haven't." "That sounds great." Later, when they were paying, Tom asked, "Check, please?" Maria said it softly, "Check, please." The waiter brought the bills, and as they left, Tom said, "See you after lunch, Maria." This simple lunch talk, with everyday phrases, helped Maria feel much more comfortable and closer to her new team. It showed her that knowing these common phrases could make a big change in how she talked with people every day. These times in the middle of the day are not just for eating, they are chances to practice. When we are relaxed and enjoying our food, it is easier to try new phrases. And when we hear others use them, we learn how they fit into real talks. The main thing is to listen and try to use them yourself. Do not worry about making mistakes. Most people are happy to help you learn. What are the most common things that English learners do not understand or find awkward during lunch? Often, it is about not understanding the list of food, feeling shy to ask for something specific, or not knowing how to join a group talk. For example, someone might point at the food list and say this one, which is okay, but asking what's in this dish, or is this spicy, is much clearer and more polite. Another common problem is when a group is already talking. A learner might not know how to join in. Phrases like, "What are you guys talking about?" Or just waiting for a break and saying, "Excuse me, can I join?" How is the language used for lunch different in casual versus more formal places? In a casual place, like with close friends or family, you might use more relaxed phrases. You could say, "What's for lunch?" Or "Let's chow down." Though chow down is very informal. When ordering, you might be more direct, "I'll have the burger." In a more formal place, perhaps a business lunch with your boss or new customers, politeness is very important. You would use phrases like, "May I see the menu, please?" Or "Could you recommend something?" When ordering, you might say, "I think I'll have the grilled salmon, please." Or "Would it be possible to have the dressing on the side?" The difference is small but important. It is about showing respect for the situation and the people you are with. Besides just ordering food, what are some of the small social signs and phrases that help someone feel more included and comfortable when sharing a lunch? One big sign is showing you are interested in others. Asking, "How was your lunch?" or "Did you make that yourself?" are small actions that make a big difference. Offering to share is another. If you have something special, like a unique snack, you might say, "Would anyone like to try some of my cookies?" Listening closely when others speak and nodding or saying "uh-huh" or "oh, really?" shows you are paying attention. If someone asks you a question, taking a moment to answer thoughtfully, even if it's simple, is better than staying quiet. For example, if asked about your weekend, saying, "It was nice, thank you. I visited a park," is perfectly fine. It is about being part of the conversation, even in small ways, and showing you are with the group. So we have talked a lot about lunchtime. From ordering food and asking for things to talking with friends and coworkers, these everyday English phrases help make that Midday meal a nice and social time. They are the basic things you need to feel sure of yourself and natural when you are eating. With our midday meals now covered, from ordering to enjoying a chat, we are ready to move into the afternoon. But what happens when the workday ends and we start thinking about going home? Let's explore the language used in the late afternoon and the change into our evening activities. 3. Afternoon adventures. Work and play vocabulary. The afternoon is a busy time. Some of us are still working, but we also start thinking about fun things we will do later. Learning English words for these afternoon activities will make your talking feel much smoother and more natural. Let's dive into the world of afternoon English. Afternoon adventures. Work and play words. The afternoon often feels like a bridge. It connects the busy morning to the calm evening. For many, it's a time for hard work, but also for short rests that help us feel strong again. Knowing how English speakers talk about this part of their day is key to sounding more like them. We use special groups of words or everyday English phrases that are common and make our language flow. These phrases are like secret codes that unlock natural talking. Let's start with the work side of the afternoon. When you are at your job, there are many things you might do. You might have meetings to talk about plans. You could be working on a project that needs to be finished soon. Sometimes you need to work with other people. Imagine you have a big project. You might need to wrap up a project. This means to finish it. It's like putting the last touches on something before it is complete. If you are trying to find new ideas, you and your team might brainstorm ideas. This is when everyone shares their thoughts, even silly ones, to find the best answers. After a meeting or a talk, you might need to follow up with someone. This means you contact them again to make sure they got your message or to ask for something you need. Sometimes, you have too much work and you can delegate tasks. This means you give some of your work to someone else to do. And of course, everyone knows about meet a deadline. This is a very important phrase. It means you have to finish your work by a certain time. If you don't, there can be problems. These phrases help describe the busy nature of work. They are everyday English phrases because people use them all the time in offices and workplaces. They are not just single words. They are groups of words that have a special meaning together. Now, even when we are working hard, we need breaks. Breaks are super important. They help us not get too tired. We might take a short break to just rest for a few minutes. Or we might have a longer break for lunch. When you need a quick rest, you might say you are going to take a breather. This is like taking a moment to breathe deeply and rest. It's a short pause. Sometimes you just need to stretch my legs. This means you stand up and walk around a little to stop your muscles from getting stiff. It's especially good if you sit down for a long time. If you are feeling a bit stuck or tired, you might want to step out for some fresh air. This means going outside for a short time, maybe just to the door or a nearby park, to feel the air and clear your head. And what about lunch? We often say we need to grab a bite. This is a very common and casual way to say you are going to eat something, usually a quick meal. It doesn't have to be a big dinner. It can be a sandwich or a salad. These phrases for breaks are also everyday English phrases. They show that even in a work setting, English speakers value short moments of rest. How do these work breaks differ from fun breaks? Well, the phrases themselves give us a clue. Take a breather or stretch my legs sound like they are still part of the workday, a necessary pause within the work. Phrases for fun breaks might be more about enjoyment. For instance, you wouldn't say you're grabbing a bite at the park with friends. You might say you're meeting for lunch or having a picnic. The work-related phrases are about managing energy for tasks, while fun phrases are about enjoyment and connection. This small difference shows how specific phrases can add detail to our talking. After the work is done, the afternoon starts to change. The feeling of finishing your tasks is a great one. There are special phrases for this moment. When you decide it is time to stop working for the day, you might say you are calling it a day. This is a very common phrase meaning you are finished with your work for today. It's like saying, "That's enough for today." If you work on a computer, you might sign off. This means you close your computer programs or log out of your work accounts. It's a clear sign that your work time is over. Once work is finished, many people want to relax. They want to wind down. This means to relax and stop thinking about work. It's like slowly becoming calm after a busy time. After work, people often want to hang out with friends. This is a very casual and friendly way to say you will spend time with your friends. It's not a formal meeting, it's just being together and enjoying each other's company. For some, the afternoon is also a time to go to the gym. They might say, "I'm going to hit the gym." This is a common and energetic way to say you are going to exercise at the gym. These phrases, calling it a day and sign off, are fantastic everyday English phrases for marking the end of the workday. They perfectly capture that feeling of relief and the shift towards personal time. They are idioms, meaning their meaning is not clear just by looking at the single words. Calling it a day doesn't literally mean you are speaking to the day, it means you are stopping work. Understanding these idioms helps learners sound much more natural, as they are used all the time by native speakers. Now, let's talk about what people do when they are not working. The afternoon can be full of fun and hobbies. There are so many ways to enjoy your free time. If you like sports, you might play a game of sport. For example, you could say, "I play a game of tennis on Saturday afternoons." This is a direct way to talk about playing a sport. Many people have hobbies, things they love to do in their free time. They might say, "I work on my hobby." This means they spend time doing something they are passionate about, like painting, knitting, or playing a musical instrument. For families, the afternoon can be a time to connect. Parents might want to spend quality time with their children. This means spending time together where you are really paying attention to each other and enjoying being a family. It's not just being in the same room, it's about real connection. Some people like to relax by reading. They might say, "I want to catch up on reading." This means they want to read books that they haven't had time for recently. And in our modern world, many people enjoy relaxing by watching TV or movies. They might binge watch a show. This means watching many parts of a TV series one after another. It's a popular way to relax. These phrases for hobbies and relaxation are also core everyday English phrases. They describe common fun activities in a way that sounds very natural. Phrases like spend quality time and catch up on reading show a focus on personal well-being and relationships, which are important parts of everyday life. Sometimes, the afternoon involves meeting people in a more casual way. It's not a formal business meeting, but a friendly get-together. You might arrange to meet for coffee. This is a very common way to socialize. It's a relaxed meeting, often for a short time, to talk and have a drink. It can be with friends, colleagues, or even for a casual business talk. When you meet someone you haven't seen in a while, you often want to have a chat. This means to talk in a friendly and informal way. It's a relaxed conversation. And when you meet up with someone, you might want to catch up. This phrase means to talk about what has happened in your life since you last saw each other. It's about sharing news and updating each other. These social phrases, meet for coffee, have a chat, catch up, are essential everyday English phrases for building relationships. They are simple, direct, and widely understood. They are used across different ages and social groups. They help create a feeling of connection and community. Learning these afternoon-specific phrases helps a learner sound much more natural, because it moves away from direct translation. For example, instead of saying I finish my work today, saying I'm calling it a day sounds much more like something a native English speaker would say. It shows an understanding of the culture and the common ways people express themselves. It's not just about knowing words, it's about knowing how and when to use them. These phrases allow learners to express details, like the difference between a quick work break and a fun one, or the feeling of relief at finishing a task. They add color and realness to a learner's English. As the afternoon turns into evening, our focus moves from work and play to the more relaxed pace of home and winding down. The words we use then show a desire for comfort and getting ready for rest, which we'll explore in the next section. 4. Evening ease. Nighttime phrases and relaxation. The sun goes down, making the sky red and purple. A long day is ending, and we feel happy and calm. How do we say this in English? How do we talk about going from busy work to quiet rest? Here, our everyday English phrases help us. They help us say we are going to sleep in a nice and easy way. After a busy day, many people want to unwind. Think of unwind like untying a knot. Your day can feel like a knot, full of stress. Unwinding means to loosen that knot. It means to let go of stress. You can say, I need to unwind after that hard meeting, or let's have a quiet night and just unwind. It means to relax and feel less worried. Another phrase is kick back. This makes you think of leaning back in a comfy chair, maybe with your feet up. It means to relax in a casual way. When you kick back, you get comfy. After work, I like to kick back on the sofa with tea, is a good example. It's a bit more casual than unwind and shows you are physically relaxing. Then there is decompress. This word comes from science, meaning to lower pressure. In everyday English, it means to let go of the pressure and stress from the day. It's like letting air out of a balloon that has too much air. You can say, I need time to decompress before I can think clearly, or listening to music helps me decompress. It means you need to get rid of the day's worries. And sometimes, we just need to switch off. This is a very clear phrase like turning off a light. It means to stop thinking about work or problems. I'm going to switch off my work phone for the weekend, or it's hard to switch off when you have many worries. It means to stop thinking about hard things. These phrases, unwind, kick back, decompress, and switch off, help us talk about moving from a busy day to a calm night. They are everyday English phrases that show us how to relax. They help us say we need rest and how we get it. As the evening goes on, we do common things. Many people make dinner, which means cooking food for the evening meal. After eating, we often need to clean up the kitchen. This means doing things like do the dishes, which is washing plates, cups, and forks. We can do this by hand or use a dishwasher. When the kitchen is clean, it's time to settle down for the evening. This means to get comfy and relax for the rest of the night. It shows that the busy part of the day is over. You might tell your kids, it's time to settle down for the evening, or you might say to yourself, I'll settle down with a good book. It means to get calm and ready for the night. Now, let's talk about having free time and how we say it in English. This is time for ourselves for fun or rest. A common way to relax is to watch TV. This means looking at the TV screen to see shows. It's a quiet activity that lets our minds relax or enjoy the shows. For people who like quiet things, reading a book is a nice way to relax. It means looking at the pages of a book and following the story or information. Books can take us to new places and give us new ideas. Many people like music. Listening to music means hearing sounds that sound nice together. It can be very calming or make you feel energetic. Today, many people spend free time by scrolling through social media. This means moving your finger on a screen to look at updates from friends, news, or interesting things online. It's a way to connect with others or just pass the time. And then there is a state of not thinking much, to zone out. This phrase means to stop paying attention to what is around you. Your mind wanders and you don't notice things as much. It often happens without trying, but it can be a deep form of relaxation. You might say, I was so tired, I just zoned out during the movie, or sometimes, I just need to zone out for a few minutes. It's a way to stop thinking hard. These phrases for relaxing, watch TV, read a book, listen to music, scroll through social media, and zone out help us say how we get energy back. They are basic ways to talk about our free time and how we find peace after a busy day. As the evening ends, we get ready for sleep. Most people have a routine to get their bodies and minds ready for rest. The general phrase for this is to get ready for bed. This covers all the small steps we take. An important part is to brush my teeth. This means using a toothbrush and toothpaste to clean our teeth. It's good for our teeth and a common part of getting ready for bed. Another step is to wash my face. This means cleaning our face with water and soap to remove dirt from the day. Then, we often put on pajamas. Pajamas are comfy clothes for sleeping. They help us feel cozy and tell our bodies it's time to rest. And for some, there is the nice feeling of tucking myself in. This means pulling blankets and sheets around you to feel warm and safe in bed. It's a feeling of being snuggled and safe, ready for sleep. These phrases, get ready for bed, brush my teeth, wash my face, put on pajamas, and tuck myself in, are all part of getting our bodies ready for deep sleep. They are simple, everyday words that help us talk about our nightly actions. Finally, we get to the moment of saying good night and falling asleep. The most common and simple way to end the day is to say good night. This is a kind way to say goodbye to someone as they go to sleep or as you leave them for the night. A common wish for someone going to sleep is to sleep well. This means hoping they will have a good and peaceful night's sleep. Now, let's look at some more colorful and informal ways to talk about going to sleep. One of the most common phrases is to hit the hay. This is a very common and informal saying. Hay is dried grass for animals. Long ago, beds might have been filled with hay. So, hit the hay simply means to go to bed. You might say to a friend, I'm very tired, I think I'll hit the hay, or it's late, time to hit the hay. It's a fun and casual way to say you're going to sleep. Another similar informal phrase is to turn in. This phrase means to go to bed for the night, often after a long day or activity. It means going to your room to sleep. I'm going to turn in now, or the party is over, let's turn in. It's a bit more formal than hit the hay, but still very common. When we talk about falling asleep, we can use the phrase drift off to sleep. This describes the slow, gentle way of falling asleep. It's like floating on calm water. After reading for a bit, I started to drift off to sleep, or the baby drifted off to sleep in my arms. It's a nice way to say you are going to sleep. How are phrases for unwinding different from phrases for going to sleep? Phrases like unwind, decompress, and kick back are more about letting go of mental and physical stress. They are about the way you relax. You often use them when you are still awake and doing things to relax. Unwind and decompress can be used in more formal situations, while kick back is more casual. On the other hand, phrases for going to sleep are about the final step of sleeping. Hit the hay and turn in are very informal and say directly that you will sleep. Drift off to sleep describes the experience of falling asleep. You usually use these when you are already in bed or about to go to bed. They are less about relaxing and more about the end of the evening, actually sleeping. What are some common English sayings or slang words used for relaxing in the evening or going to bed, and how can we use them? We've already talked about hit the hay and turn in for going to bed. For relaxing, kick back is a great informal saying. Another one, which is a bit older but still understood, is veg out. This comes from vegetable, meaning not doing much and not thinking. So, I'm just going to veg out in front of the TV tonight means to relax without doing much. How you use these words depends on who you were talking to and the situation. Hit the hay is good for friends or family when you were tired. Turn in can be used in more situations, still mostly informal. Kick back is good for casual times. Veg out is also quite informal and best used with people you know well. Remember that while these phrases are common, they are best used in casual talks. In a more formal place, you might say, I'm going to retire for the night or I need to rest. But for everyday talking, these sayings make your English sound more natural and interesting. Understanding these everyday English phrases for winding down, relaxing, and going to sleep helps us connect with how English speakers talk. They let us say what we need for rest and how we find peace at the end of the day. This makes our talking feel more real and natural. With our evenings now understood, we have gone through a full day in English. But what happens when the day is not as planned, or when we need to say more than these everyday things? In the next part, we will learn how to handle unexpected things and say more complex feelings, so our English skills are ready for anything. Conclusion: you have finished my day in English. That is a great thing to do. When we started, we said that talking in English every day is not just about knowing many big words. It is about using the little, helpful words and sentences that we all need to talk about our day. This is from the first moment we wake up until we are ready to sleep. Our main goal was to help your English sound more like someone who speaks it all the time. We did this by looking at these everyday English phrases. We have gone through a whole day together. We began with the sleepy times of waking up. We learned the difference between sleeping and sleeping longer than usual and oversleeping, sleeping too long and being late. Then we moved through the busy times of the morning. We found simple ways to talk about getting ready. We learned how to talk at work and when meeting friends. We learned sentences to make these talks go well. We also found ways to rest and enjoy our free time. Finally, we learned how to say goodnight and get ready for sleep. We also learned the saying hit the hay, which means to go to bed. The real magic, as we saw, is in these everyday English phrases. They are the basic parts that let you say what you think clearly and with belief. You can use them when you want to order a coffee, talk with a coworker, or just tell someone about your day. Think about how these phrases can really help. You will not have trouble finding the right words when you need to buckle your seatbelt, put on your seatbelt, or kindly ask for a refill more drink. You now have a better way to talk about simple actions. You can talk about whipping up, making quickly a meal, or tidying up, cleaning your room. Remember learning waking up on the wrong side of the bed? Now you have a fun way to say someone is in a bad mood. Instead of just saying I'm done, you can say call it a day. This saying is perfect for the end of a workday. And for times when you need to relax, zoning out is a perfect phrase. It means to take a much-needed break from thinking. Each phrase you have learned is a step to speaking English more like a native speaker. It means sounding less like you are trying to translate in your head. It means sounding more like you are just speaking. This is not just about remembering words. It is about understanding how people talk every day. It is about having the belief to use English in real life. These everyday English phrases are your tools. They are the way to make your English talking smoother and more effective.